This is my boat shed in Arctic Finland. I am building this, a 15-meter liveaboard cruising sailboat from scratch, using 3D modeling, CNC cutting and wood epoxy construction. And my name is Panu. Welcome! In this video, we're gonna continue by gluing these side decks and stuff in. I really hope that it goes like planned. But we'll start by taking a look how the spring is coming to Finland. There is some teasers about it. We'll see. Whoa. Spring! Yeah, that's the thing where sun is shining and weather is warming up nicely. This is how it looks here in Finland. Yep. It's April 4th, I think, or 5th. Fortunately, this will be quite temporary. It should be much warmer next week. And I'm hoping that next week's warming up will help me to get these things glued and the glue actually to harden well enough. Of course, I have this heater, it's working nicely. I can get quite nice and warm in here when I'm using it. But yeah, let's now start figuring out these scarf joints. I have now put all the pieces of the boulevard side here roughly on their places, and I just wanted to feel a little bit and think how they should go there. My first idea and wish was to kind of be able to glue them right on their places, but I don't think that's really possible. This 15mm plywood is such a stiff material, it doesn't bend that easily around there, so I think I need to glue the scarf joints beforehand here. I'm not sure if you can see from the camera view, but this is much narrower here in front and much wider there in the back because the deck level goes down back there, and of course the bulwark gets higher back there. So, and I'm thinking now that I maybe could do all these scarf joint glue ups at the same time. I think I just now attach them to each other with some blocks, with some plywood on both top and bottom, and then kind of figure out the next one on top or on the side. And I just put the glue in and it should be good. And I'm gonna explain these scarf joints in more detail in a separate video, just showing the scarf joint idea, so I'm not gonna waste time for that in this video. But they look pretty good. Alright, now there is these two layers of that wall side by side, and I figured that because these joints are not in the same place, of course, I can do both them at the same time and use the bottom edge as a guide to each other, so that should be completely straight, of course. And tomorrow I will glue the joints together. But I'm not gonna do this today. It's a little bit chilly here. Next few days should be much warmer. Spring is kind of starting to come here. It's much easier to heat this place when it's a little bit warmer. And just like that, spring came. It's now 8th of April and it's over 15 degrees outside. It's over 14 degrees in here. It's gonna be really nice next few days and it's gonna continue, well, around 10 degrees for the foreseen future. And that brings us to here. Yesterday I got all these prepared and now I'm just gonna mix a batch of thickened epoxy and start gluing these scarf joints in. I just put a bunch of that glue on that joint there and let it squeeze out nicely and hope that it fills up the little bit of gap that is remaining there. As mentioned, I'm gonna do a separate video of how this scarf joint works with the CNC cutting. But yeah, let's now start this glue up and hope that everything goes well, of course. Right, now it's done and I checked the straightness with the laser and it turned out that there is one board in there in the middle that has a little bit curved this edge, so it did a little bit of a curve for the whole thing. But now I straighten it, it should be within a few millimeters. It went nicely, no complaints, nothing really went wrong. It should be pretty warm night, but I think when I leave I'm gonna put the heater on for the night so that we can have some heat here during the night. Tomorrow should be a pretty warm day. Looking forward that this will cure during tomorrow. Then we can take it out and put the other half. If I haven't explained, of course, these are the pieces for this side, so they will be glued together in here. All right, a little bit of sidekick here. I'm middle of a Finnish forest. Over there you can see the normal way to do forestry here in Finland. Not very nice. And there you can see these few magnificent pine trees. And two of them are going to be part of my boat. We're gonna do veneers from them. And actually I'm trying to do a whole separate video of the whole process of making these veneers. So this is just a sneak peek and things happening here today. So yeah, these are maybe 100, 150 years old pine trees. Very nice stuff. Of course, it's a bit shame to cut them down, but we're cutting just a few of them and rest of the forest will stay here and grow. Probably much more sustainable than that thing. And they are huge and they are very huggable and warm. And actually we are in the late March and these are the last days, last weeks we can actually do this stuff, because these kind of trees for this purpose should be cut during the winter, so there's no water inside the trunk that much. There's no sugars or any nutrients in there. They are all stored into the roots of the tree during the winter. So that way the quality of the wood is better. There is not that much moisture. There is not that big risk of mold growing in that tree because there is no sugars that much. Those two trees over there, they are for my boat. They're a little bit longer than rest of the stuff. This is just amazing to watch this machine. This is remarkable. Okay, the trees are down. Harvester is continuing its work back there. This is the size of these. This is just huge. My trees are over there, but it's quite similar to this. And yeah, this will be magnificent veneers for the boat building. And here you can see the line here. The middle part is quite dry to touch, but the outer edge is very moist. So the water has already started to race into the tree. So we are maybe a little bit too late in the season to cut these, but I think it's okay still. Okay, now all of these 4 pieces for those bulwark sides have been glued. They are now 14.5 meter long sheets of plywood basically here with those carved joints. It went perfectly well. Those 2 I did yesterday, so they are not completely dry yet, so I'm not gonna touch them yet. But I can start preparing actually this side. And next thing I need to do a little bit of a cleanup, some squeeze out there to clean them up, sand them a little, kind of make sure that there's no bumps or major dips to kind of prevent them from gluing against each other perfectly. But after the cleanup, I need to move them away from there a little bit, maybe try to bend them. Really not sure how I'm gonna handle with them because they are so long and heavy, I can't lift them obviously. But I need to start fitting the side decks here because those are gonna be glued against the side decks, something like this. And then I need to clean up this groove there a little bit to get rid of that squeeze out from the previous glue up. Very exciting moment, very exciting moment. I am hoping that I can start putting these in within this video. We'll see about that, or maybe I just leave it like a cliffhanger. Yeah, very pleased with this. This is so freaking exciting. There There's only one word for this. Wow. This went in so much easier than I ever imagined. Yeah, it's almost unreal how easily it went in there. And it stays in there and there's gonna be no problems whatsoever to keep it on this place while gluing. That was something I was really worried about, how to keep it on its place. Will it kind of stay against these molds here? But no, there's no problems whatsoever. This is absolutely amazing. But next I'm gonna grab some of those side deck pieces here and try them, how they fit in here. They should go against this mold right in here, and we need to trim this on top of that so that the next layer of side decks will come above this and beside the second layer of this side. Yeah, you will see. The first layer of the first side of the side deck is in and it fits quite well. However, I encountered a slight issue here. This side deck really doesn't have any specific place where it should be aligned with, except for that very bow there, and there is a small issue there as well. And that's with this piece right here. For some reason I have got this too narrow. This should be a couple of centimeters wider on both ends, so it matches with the stem piece that will be placed on top of here. But this is too narrow, and of course this corner is not in right spot. I'm gonna do new one of these. It's pretty easy, just cut it with the CNC again. Then this corner should be aligned with that corner right in there, so these should align something like this. Now it doesn't, and I really don't know which position this should go, and there I can put this second piece in and kind of figure out the rest of the boat. So I need to do new version of this piece, and of course the top side as well. It was mysteriously slightly different size, so I have done some CAD magic mistakes there, but not a big deal. I can quite easily cut new one because I have that amazing CNC, of course. But overall this looks, well, you can see how it looks, but it looks and feels so freaking good. This is roughly the shape it will have before we start to put the frames here, and it's not that far away. But what I can do while I'm waiting for that second version of that bow piece, I can start trimming. And you can maybe see now, this is now down here and the deck level is here. So I need to trim, of course, this side piece here so that it matches this top piece. There is really one reason why I didn't do that with the CNC, and that's because, well, I don't have that kind of software that could do flattening of a bend structure. Well, Rhino maybe can do that, but I don't know that software that well, and I don't have that license. So, well, this is the way I did it, and the issue really is that when you have kind of bent surface and you cut it from flat stock, you need to unbend it with the software to be able to cut it from flat things. Well, I don't have that kind of a method at my disposal, and that's why I'm doing it this way. The second reason, of course, is that it's not flat, it's not constantly same height, it rises back there, so it's much higher there than here on the bow. Otherwise it could be just single width, but that would be very easy. But this case it's not. And actually these kind of things are some of those things that I have kind of trying to tackle when I have done the 3D modeling of the boat, to make these pieces not very complex, or difficult to make. Everything should be kind of flat and square as much as possible. This is of course exception for that because the boat is not flat and square. A boat building Sunday. Yesterday it was a long day. We did some things with my uncle and we also installed this heater which is right there, and now it works with the through wall up there. So that is great news because I'm gonna need that heater in coming weeks. And actually I haven't needed this heater past week because it has been so warm, and I managed to glue these bulwark sides, all 4 of them here. They are ready to go. They are now sanded and all complete. So next task is of course to glue them in. But as the next things to glue in, I decided that I'm not gonna glue these yet. I'm gonna glue the side decks together as a one piece. And that is because some of those plywood pieces back there, you maybe can just see them, are pretty crooked, so they are not straight, and it is quite difficult to kind of figure out what shape they should get when I'm gluing them in these sides. So instead, I'm gonna glue the 2 layers of the side decks together, and hopefully that will bring them into certain level and make them flat. And after that, it's much easier to glue them to these side walls. But before I start gluing that, I need to prepare that side. This side has been now trimmed this level, and I need to do same to that side as well. It's that piece over there. I'm gonna just flip it on its place and then trim it on top, and yeah, then we are ready to glue these side decks, and that's so freaking exciting. Yeah, this is starting to look like a boat. Okay, yesterday went all with the preparation. Still, I didn't get in the gluing, and that is a good thing because now I have all the parts kind of dry fitted here, and they all align perfectly. Of course, they are CNC cut, they are so freaking accurate. But anyway, I think I said yesterday that I will glue first the decks together and afterwards glue the side bulwarks here. But I changed my mind again, and now I think I have to glue them all together at one go. And that's because of the epoxy squeeze out. So if we take a little bit closer detailed look in here, the second layer of the side deck is 15mm larger than the bottom one. And that's of course because this first layer of this bulwark side will come something like that in there. And if I glue this first, there will be squeeze out underneath there. And that's gonna be pain in the... And cleaning squeeze outs, it's very hard work, and especially corner like this, it's really not that simple. And of course it's underneath there, and this is gonna be so big that I cannot move this. So yeah, I wanna avoid getting that squeeze out to be cleaned. So instead, I'm gonna glue these together, and then I'm gonna glue these at the same time together. There's gonna be squeeze out right here, and this second layer is gonna be situated against this top piece, something like this. And there will be squeeze out as well. So to avoid any of that cleaning, I really need to glue these together all in one go. And that's gonna be a huge job. It's gonna be a full day job, I think. Pretty straightforward though, but I'm still gonna end this video right here. Kind of a cliffhanger. And I think I'm gonna do next video just about the glue up of all this together. And that's gonna be so freaking exciting, because after that, the shape of the boat is kind of glued in, and there is first structures in. And then we can actually go into phase 2 of that video I did a few weeks back that explains all these phases in here. So this is gonna be the end of the phase 1. And yeah, I am so pleased how this turned out. This is so freaking exciting. It's so perfect. Everything aligns so well. And yeah, I want to say I'm a little bit proud of my system here. And into that little bit selfish comment, I will end this video right here. Next, as mentioned, we're gonna glue this up, and this is gonna be so freaking exciting. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment down below. Please give a like. And if you have slightest idea to support this production even more, please check the Patreon page as well. And about that, this video and the previous were edited partially by external editor who I'm paying with your money. So all the revenue from all the videos are going into that at the moment. But anyway, this looks amazing. We will see you in the next video. Bye bye.